The anxious mirror. Every city is a map of a mind. Every school is a mirror. Every market is a mirror. They show us how we think. They reflect what we believe. When the mind that builds is anxious, the world it builds is anxious too. When it sees only scarcity, it builds walls and gates. It creates systems that force us to compete for every small piece. This world is tight and brittle. It forgets how to care for the soil, the water, the people it is meant to serve. We feel this tension every day. It lives in the rush of traffic, the pressure of deadlines, the quiet fear that we are not enough. Our systems run on an old story. We are separate. It teaches us to extract, to take what we can before someone else does. That creates loneliness and breaks bonds with the planet. It treats living things like machines for production. It values speed over depth and short-term profit over long-term health. The result? A world loud, tired, and full of harm. But nature shows a different way. Look closely at a fern frond. A tiny leaf mirrors the branch. A river delta branches like a tree. We call this a fractal. It repeats from the small to the vast. A seashell spiral echoes a distant galaxy. Composite image of spiral, shell, and tree. This pattern is nature's secret to resilience. It shares energy, grows, and repairs without central command. What if this living pattern runs through us? What if consciousness is a fractal? Imagine your life not as an isolated point, but as an intricate slice of a larger moving whole. You are not a lonely actor. You are a unique viewpoint, a window into a shared existence. When we grasp this, our relationship shifts. Choices stop being just personal. They tune us to the larger song of life. That's where change begins. The fractal turn. This shift in perspective is what we can call the fractal turn. It is not a complicated theory. It is a return to a wisdom that is already inside us and all around us. It is about seeing the world not as a collection of dead objects, but as a living, breathing system of relationships. This turn is guided by a few core insights, simple ideas that can reshape how we build our world. These insights are not new inventions. They are observations of how life already works from the level of our cells to the level of the cosmos. They are clues to a more coherent and harmonious way of being. This new way of seeing leads us toward a completely different kind of economy. We can call it a social value economy. In this system, money does not disappear, but its purpose changes. Instead of being a tool for hoarding and extraction, it becomes a way to measure and encourage life-affirming activities. Value flows like water to where it is needed most. People are rewarded for regenerating ecosystems, for caring for the young and the old, for creating art that enriches the soul. Work is no longer a draining obligation. It becomes a meaningful way for each person to contribute their unique gift to the shared web of existence. Education also transforms. We move from a factory model of learning to what we can call fractal learning. This means learning is no longer about memorizing disconnected facts for a test. It is about understanding patterns and relationships. Classrooms become vibrant ecosystems of curiosity, where students learn by doing, by sharing, and by reflecting together. The goal is not just to acquire skills, but to cultivate wisdom. Students learn to tune their attention, to regulate their emotions, and to see how their actions ripple out to affect the whole. They learn to be good ancestors. This fractal logic applies to our cities and technologies as well. Instead of sprawling, disconnected suburbs, we can design cities with a natural rhythm. We can build green corridors that allow life to move freely. We can create public squares that invite connection and shared celebration. Our buildings can be designed to breathe, to use energy and water in a cyclical way. Technology, too, can be redesigned. Instead of tools that distract and divide us, we can create technologies that help us sense the health of our communities and our planet. They can become tools for coherence, not for control. 4 keys to a living world. To make this change, we can focus on 4 simple but profound ideas. The first is understanding that we are a higher dimensional shadow. Imagine a 4-dimensional object passing through our 3-dimensional world. we would only ever see one slice at a time. Our life is like that slice. Our past, present, future are part of a larger, unified self we can't see all at once. This idea helps us release the burden of our past mistakes and the anxiety about our future. It lets us act from wholeness, each moment a vital part of a larger pattern. The second key is felt time. We're taught time is a straight, measured line, but experience shows it's not true. Time is elastic. Time is felt. A single minute of deep connection can feel richer than an hour of rushing distraction. Learn to feel time and find its natural rhythm. When communities share a steady beat, focused work, deep rest, joyful play, they become healthy and resilient. We stop fighting time and start flowing with it. The third key is the shared breath field. Every breath connects us to a planetary system. The air in your lungs once lived in a tree far away. We constantly share molecules, and we share moods and feelings. Our hearts and nervous systems generate subtle electromagnetic fields. Calm fields are coherent. Stressed fields are chaotic. When people calm their breath together, the room's field settles. Small acts of care ripple outward through this invisible web. The fourth and final key is resonance. Resonance is a basic physical principle. One vibrating object can make another vibrate at the same frequency. Two guitars in a room. Pluck one, the other hums. In life, people, ideas, communities can resonate. Systems that resonate with life waste less energy. Cooperation emerges naturally. Harm diminishes. We find our place in the orchestra and add our note to the song. Well, that is the invitation. Section 4. New systems from an old pattern. When we apply these 4 keys, our systems of governance begin to look very different. The old model is a rigid pyramid, with power concentrated at the top. Decisions are made far from where their effects are felt. A fractal model of governance is more like a living organism. It is rhythmic and local. Instead of a single top-down authority, leadership is distributed. Small, agile groups form to address a specific need, lead for as long as they are needed, and then dissolve back into the community. Decisions rise up from the places where the knowledge and experience actually live. This is guided by transparent data and open, honest conversation. The economy, too, is reborn. In a social value economy, the goal is not endless growth for its own sake. The goal is the flourishing of life. Basic needs like food, shelter, healthcare are seen as fundamental rights, ensuring that everyone has a stable foundation from which they can create and contribute. This frees human potential. People are no longer trapped in jobs that harm the planet or their own spirit just to survive. Instead, their work becomes an expression of their purpose. A farmer is rewarded for improving soil. An engineer is rewarded for designing a product that can be easily repaired and recycled. Value follows care. In this new framework, technology serves a higher purpose. Smart tools can be our allies. Imagine sensors that monitor the health of a river in real time, alerting the local community to a pollutant. Imagine digital platforms that make it easy for neighbors to share tools, skills, and transportation. This technology is not designed to addict us or to mine our attention for profit. It is designed to enhance our awareness, to help us see the connections we were missing, and to support our collective efforts to build a healthier world. The goal is technology that serves life, not the other way around. Even our cities can be healed. We can build them with rhythm and flow in mind, mirroring the patterns of the natural world. Instead of endless concrete and noise, we can weave in green corridors, community gardens, quiet spaces for reflection. Buildings can become like living things, with systems that harvest rainwater and generate their own energy. Streets can be redesigned to prioritize people, not just cars, inviting us to walk, to talk, and to meet our neighbors. A fractal city is a place that makes it easy to be connected, to share resources, and to feel a sense of belonging to a living place. Section 5. Becoming the signal, the practice of change. Why must we change? We must change because our old system is based on a fundamental mistake. It treats the living world as a dead machine. It prizes speed. It prizes profit above all else. This relentless drive creates noise. This drive creates waste. This drive creates deep spiritual exhaustion. It fuels fear. It breaks the delicate web of trust that holds a society together. The world we have built is now reflecting back to us the consequences of this mistake. The anxiety we feel is the anxiety of a system at war with itself, a system that has forgotten it is part of a living whole. The time for a new story has come. This transformation is not a violent revolution. It is not about forcing a new ideology onto everyone. It is a process of remembering. It is a gentle but powerful tuning. This change grows in the small, quiet places first. It starts when a neighborhood decides to create a shared garden, turning a forgotten lot into a source of food, and creating connection. It grows when a school replaces punishment with restorative circles. It spreads when a local business decides to measure success not by profit alone, but by the well-being of its employees and by the well-being of its community. These are the seeds of a new world. You can begin this practice right now. It does not require permission or a grand plan. Start by noticing your own breath. When you feel rushed or anxious, consciously slow your breathing and feel your feet on the ground. This small act tunes your own nervous system. Choose to do work that adds more life to the world than it takes. Join a local group that is sharing skills or caring for a piece of land. Teach a child how to listen, not just to words, to the birds, to the wind, to the quiet voice within. Share what you are learning. Share what is working. This path does not promise a perfect utopia. It asks for our patient and persistent practice. It asks us to remember a pattern we already live inside, woven into our DNA and the fabric of the cosmos. As we tune our own lives to this pattern, we begin to waste less energy. We make more room for compassion and care. We create space for beauty to emerge. The task is simple and profound. Become a clear signal others can resonate with. Breathe. Listen, connect, help. When enough of us do this, the entire system begins to hum a new song. The universe is not just a machine, it is also a symphony. It is time we learned the tune. Really learn the tune.